Okay, so welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a Bachelorette recap of episode 4. All right, so I'm trying to talk like kind of quietly because it's kind of late and I don't want to wake up anybody in my building. So yeah, if I talk a little bit low, that's why. But basically, before I get into the episode, I know this like there's been a couple episodes already, so I just want to give like my thoughts from the past episodes. So let me think. Basically, Nate, let's just start off with the main ones. Nate, I mean, what else can I say? He's so fine. Like, oh my gosh, like it's really not fair, in my opinion. Like, if I was a guy and Nate was on my season, like I would leave, because yeah, like that's that. Jamie, hate Jamie. That was super weird. Like it was like the way he was trying to act like no one was gonna find out, and it was almost like he was saying things that like alluded to him having done something wrong, but like still didn't think he was gonna get caught, was just like strange. Like it was weird. It was very weird. And then like when he was talking to that producer, like I feel like, okay, because I love like Bachelor Twitter, I feel like people were not talking about that enough, how he was literally talking to the producer, like making fun of Michelle. And it was like, you know, you're on a reality TV show where you don't know where the cameras are, and like you're mic'd up, so like, and you're trying to be with this girl, so like why would you even let there be a point where it's like you're making fun of her? Because imagine this didn't happen and then you ended up winning, and then there's this clip that they have of you making fun of her on television. Like, how does that make sense? So I was just like, why? Like, he was just weird. The whole thing, when at the beginning of the cocktail party, when he was like rolling her eyes, like, no, he's just weird. Other thoughts, overall thoughts. Brandon is a cutie. He's just so sweet. Every time he talks to her, I'm just like, oh, like, he just seems so cute. And then, okay, most of you guys probably know, but Clayton is supposed to be the new Bachelor. And so I kind of like keep this in mind while I watch the episodes, and it's like, he's cute, and like this is in my notes. I have notes on my computer. Like he's cute, but like at least so far, like he's just boring, and I just don't see how he could carry a season. Like I hope he's gonna prove me wrong, but I just don't really see his personality so far. And like if they're wanting to convince us that he's the option for the Bachelor, I don't see how they're doing that. But anyway, so I'm just gonna hop into the episode with my notes and everything. I have a lot of stuff written down. I have so many thoughts while I watch this show. I have so many thoughts. I will probably cut some of them down because this is a lot. So okay, so at the beginning of the episode, when Olu had some weird moments for me, like multiple times he would like say something and I was just like why are you saying that? Like when he was talking about how like how Martin isn't worthy of Michelle because he was friends with Jamie, and like, okay, first I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't like Jamie, but that was a weird comment. Like, what do you mean he's not worthy because he was friends with Jamie? Like, he didn't do what Jamie did. Like, you just sound like you just don't like anybody, which I mean is fair because like you want to be the one to end up with her, but it's like, so what was the point of the comment? Like, it was just weird, in my opinion. But then Martin did do some weird stuff. Like, why was he defending Jamie in the hot tub? Like why was that brought up? And like, why, like, what was the point of defending him when he's gone? Like, obviously she did something that he didn't like. So actually, what was the reason of defending him? Like, I just don't see how that was helping Martin or who that was helping. Like, because I mean, yeah, obviously you had a different relationship because y'all were friends and they were dating, so what's the point of saying that? Like, that's clear. I just, it was weird. It didn't make sense. Oh yeah, and then at dinner, okay, because that happened, like, I honestly thought Martin was gonna go home. Like, that just didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. Like, I thought he was gonna go home, and that was just gonna be the end of that. But their conversation ended up going really well. I just wasn't expecting it, and like they had connected on like the not being like always like showing their emotions, and I thought she was gonna be like, I thought she was just gonna go on a whole different route, and she's gonna be like, well, why haven't you like tried to fix it if you've had this problem for, you know, this issue, you know, not being able to show your emotions because your family, like, why are you just now like being like, oh, like I want to fix this now and this is a problem, like, because that's like what it seemed like. He was like, yeah, I've had, you know, like I've known that I've like been feeling like this since I was, you know, whatever, since I was a kid, you know, and you know that happens, you know, like what you see from your parents, you know, that's kind of how you handle your emotions, kind of replicated off of them. But it was like all of a sudden, now that he's sitting in front of her, he's like, oh, I want to fix this, which I don't know, that just didn't seem genuine to me. It was weird, but they like connected on it, so good for him. She seemed to enjoy it. But yeah, I think that was all I had for Martin's date. And then going into the group date, I will say, like, I felt so bad for Michelle. Like, I felt so bad because what she was saying about how they were like ignoring her was so clear. Like, they were just doing their own thing and not paying her any mind except for Chris. And this is the thing about the show, like, you can just tell when like when the lead doesn't like the person who's giving them attention, because Chris did give her attention, yes, but he's not the one that she wanted the attention from. So it was like no one was giving her attention, which, I mean, that's how I felt watching it because I don't like Chris that much. So it also felt like no one was giving her attention, which, I mean, like, I feel so bad that she was like, oh, like, people are gonna think that I want all the attention on me, because it's just that, like, they're here to date you, and it looks like no one's trying to putting in any effort. Like, I really felt so bad. And then when she was telling it was like later on when she was telling Caitlin how she just like didn't want to ruin the vibe, and like that's why she was keeping the emotions, and like I felt so bad because I relate with that so much. Like, when you don't want to ruin someone else's time, and so like that's why you hold in your emotions. Like, oh, I just felt so bad because yeah, I really resonated with that. But yeah, I loved how on the other part of the group date, how she was so honest with them, like, and really explained how she felt and why she felt that way. Like, that was really great, because I feel like in other seasons, like, they're upset, like the lead is maybe upset with something, and it doesn't, like, they don't get to the root of what the problem is. And I think she did a really good job of explaining it. And okay, so this is where I get to, like, a lot of this is like stuff about Nate. I wasn't really too in love with him this episode, which is sad because, like, he's my favorite. Yeah, he's my favorite. And it was like his response to her was like, I don't know, like, it wasn't that apologetic. I feel like he was kind of like, oh, like, I'm sorry you felt this way. And I honestly don't recall anything else he said. And like, but one thing I wrote down was like his interview, like his individual interview afterwards was like so great. Like, he was like, she's not asking a lot of me, like, I really just need to like show her that bit of effort so she feels seen. And it was like, okay, why did you not tell her that? Maybe you did tell her that and, you know, just cut out editing, whatever, but I don't know. His response to her, from what I saw, was just a little bit lackluster, which was disappointing. And then, like, it was kind of like his body language, like at the end of the date when she like walked in, he was like slouched over, and then like their hug was just a little, like he was like looking above, like he didn't like look at her when they hug. And I hate how much I pay attention, but he like was not looking at her when he gave her a hug. He was like looking like up, and like, I mean, he's very tall, so he was looking up at everything while he was giving her a hug. And I was just like, I didn't love that. But anyways, okay, so on to Rick. Rick's one-on-one. What can I say about Rick? I don't know. I don't love him. His energy to me is like, oh, it's just not like comfortable energy. I don't know how to explain it, but, and like he was like whispering at one point, and I didn't like it. I didn't like his whisper. I said like he seems nice. He seems like a nice person, but like I don't feel like the spark between him and Michelle, and so I think that's also why I just don't get excited when they're together, because I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything between them, fortunately, which is, yeah, it's unfortunate because he seems like a really nice guy. But yeah, and then when they had this like their, you know, the little like dance afterwards, some of the dates, like it was so fast. It was that Andy Grammer, is it Grammer? Andy Graham or whatever. It was so fast, like I was honestly laughing during that part because it was so fast, and they were like trying to slow dance, but it was fast music. And I was like, this isn't, like, something's not working here. I don't know who chose that, but that was not, yeah. So okay, so then we get into like rose ceremony, cocktail party, Chris Nate situation. I feel bad for Chris. I feel like he did all of this out of desperation, out of insecurity, because I just didn't see, like, okay, so basically, like, she told them on the date, she told them about how she was feeling unseen, and then, like, they addressed it in that moment, you know, like I said, I didn't love Nate's response to her, but I mean, the other guys, I mean, they were all addressing it, like, everyone at the date, like, no one was not talking about it. They all, you know, said something. So I really, like, there actually was no point to address it in front of everyone as if, like, everyone needed to rehash that they had done something wrong. It was like, they probably, all the guys definitely knew about it, so if you wanted to bring it up in your conversation with her, definitely do that. But what was the point of being like, oh, all the guys, you all did something wrong, like, including you, like, you were also at the date. So yeah, like, what was the point of calling out everyone when the situation had already been, you know, in the works? Like, I just didn't really see the point of that. It seemed desperate. Unfortunately, it seemed a little desperate. And then also, okay, so then Chris goes and talks to her, and then that little thing between him and Brandon. See, that's why I had to say who I liked, because when he went at Brandon, that little thing, how Brandon asked for to take her, and then he was like, no, I didn't like that. See, I like Brandon, so I didn't like that. It was weird. So then he goes in and is like, oh, Nate said that he thinks he's gonna get a one-on-one eventually, that he's like, it doesn't matter when, because I know I'm gonna get one. I don't see the problem with that. Like, I'm sorry, I don't see how that's an issue. Like, he's basically saying that, like, I make the most out of whatever time that I get with her, that I'm not, like, I don't need this one-on-one. Like, obviously he wants to see her, like, he wants to get it, but it's like, if you think that, if someone is like thinking I can't progress my relationship with her if I don't have a one-on-one, that's kind of on you. And he's just saying, like, it'll happen eventually. Like, when it happens is when it'll happen. That's not, I don't see the problem. I don't see why you're trying to turn that into a problem. I don't get how that was bad to say, honestly. And then he was like, only 5 people went up to her during the date. Like, were you counting? Like, Chris, like, what are you saying? Like, what are you talking about? It was just funny. And then this is so embarrassing, but Nate is Canadian, right? And then when he said, he was like, I don't have it in the bag. He's so cute. Everything he says is so cute. Like, obvious, like, I'm so biased. Like, I just think he's so cute. So yeah. Oh no, but then okay, Nate said vibe a lot this episode. He said vibe a lot. He was like, oh, I feel like me and Michelle were vibing this whole time. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, vibe. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Maybe use another word. We were connecting so much. I don't know what's happening. We were vibing so much. I don't know. I feel like that's something someone my age would say. Not gonna say more. And then when Joe, these are just notes on like little moments that happened that I just found funny or weird. Okay, that's basically what this is. When Joe goes, I want you to feel seen, so I brought you this blanket. What? Like, do you know that's what you said? Joe's alright with me, but I don't know, that was just funny. Like, I want you to feel seen, and that's why I brought you this blanket. What does that mean? Okay, moving on. The whole thing between Chris and Olu was weird. Like, I got to the point where I was like, okay, why is everyone talking about Chris that bad? Like, they were like, oh, he's a snake, da 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 da, all this. Like, okay, I understand why Nate was upset with him, but like, that little talk thing was weird for sure. Like, it definitely wasn't necessary, but the way the guys were going on him, like, then it looked like they were doing what he was trying to do, like trying to get ahead by like saying something bad about somebody. They were then doing that because why are you talking so bad about him? Like, it was a little bit much, like, about how bad they were talking about him. Like, it was like, this is like, it was weird, but like, it didn't help him, so why are you so upset? That's what it was giving. Oh, and then when Nate called him a dweeb, he is a little bit of a dweeb. When he went to Olu, you can, when I get the rose, you can put that in a flower vase and keep it there. That was so funny. What else? Oh, I was thinking, okay, I thought this at one point. If Nate wasn't so cute, like, would I really be this attached to him, like, from his actions? Like, would I really like this contestant that much? We'll never know, because he looks the way he does, but because it was like another point where I just wasn't, his response when him and Michelle were talking about what Chris said, it was like, I feel like he could have said more. Like, it was a little strange. Like, he was just like, oh, like, I can't really handle like what other people say about me, which is true, but you could also say something about what you said, because obviously I don't see that much of a problem with what he said, but obviously she felt something about it, so maybe talk a little bit about that and not just how it doesn't matter what other people think about you. Just a thought. And then, okay, so then at the end of the rose ceremony, Chris goes, she was gonna call my name, no, he went, she called my name last, but I knew she was gonna call it the whole time. A little cocky much? Like, isn't that what you were just complaining about? It doesn't matter when because you knew it was gonna happen. That's literally what Nate said. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much it. So the last things, Michelle was so excited to tell them that they were going to Minnesota. Like, that was so cute. Like, okay, I'm obsessed with Michelle. I love her. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Like, her personality is just so, she's just so like honest, and she seems so strong. Like, I just love watching her. I love this season because of Michelle. Like, I love, like, this is one of the best Bachelorette seasons in my opinion because of her. Yeah, so that's all I have, all of my notes. I'm just someone who really loves this show, and that's why I wanted to do a recap, even though we're almost halfway through the season. But if you are a Bachelorette fanatic like me, I hope you enjoyed this little recap, and I want you guys to leave your opinions from the episode below, because I would love to talk more about the episode, because I just love it. I just love talking about these episodes. So yeah, that is it. I hope you have a great day whenever you're watching this. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Bye.